Hi everyone, welcome back for Module 2. Hard to believe it is the second week of classes already. Just a few things I want to remind you of as you begin to start the second module. You'll notice that there are a lot of activities, and it can look kind of overwhelming at first glance seeing everything that has to be done in Module 2. I want to reiterate that each section really takes no more than 15 minutes. I do that on purpose because I know we are all busy people, and sometimes it's hard to sit down and do, the equivalent of 3 hours of coursework at one time. So I like to divide it up into manageable pieces so you can work on it throughout the week. That way it's not a lot of overwhelming stuff happening at once. Second, as you probably, some of you realized, on Monday I sent out a reminder to anyone who hadn't submitted their assignments from the first week. This is something that I'll do automatically. There's a real cool feature in Canvas where I can just send a notification to everyone who hasn't turned anything in. And I don't want this to make you feel like you have to rush or panic. I know as a student myself that I schedule in sometimes not to complete a project till the day it's due, and that is totally fine. Honestly, I don't even look at who it's being sent to. I just want to do that so you have another reminder in case it slips your mind. So please don't feel any rush if you get that reminder from me on Monday. I'm going to try to do it every week, just so nothing slips your mind. Also, I really enjoyed listening to your first journal entries and your discussion board, and I'm working on giving feedback to everyone for that, so be looking for that. I'm going to try to record all my feedback, just so we can also kind of get to know each other a little better that way as well. There is also, for this module, at the end of it, there's another discussion board, so if you have any questions about any of the content or anything with the module, feel free to write your questions there. I'll answer them there. Other classmates can also answer your question if they see it first, and then you're also able to see questions that other people asked in case you have the same question as well. So this week we're going to be talking a lot about nonverbal communication. Really, when it comes down to it, nonverbal communication is just as important as the verbal message that's being communicated. So we're going to learn a whole bunch of different kinds of nonverbal communication. That way you can incorporate these into your speeches and also be mindful of it with everyday communication as well. With that being said, towards the end of the module, we do kind of turn a little and we start to talk about the informative speech, which will be your first big speech of this course, which is exciting, but I also don't want you to panic because it doesn't happen until week 5. So we still have 3 weeks to prepare for it, but the way I mentioned in the last module is that we are scaffolding our assignments for our big speeches. That way you're not spending the whole week before your speech putting it all together. So basically, by the time it's the week to do your speech, you'll have very little work left to do because you've done all the background work in these past modules beforehand. All right, I think that is all that I have for right now for my notes. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Just put COMM100 in the subject line so I know that it is a student in my class rather than an advisee. But I hope you guys all have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you next week.